Hello Tubesters, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. Today we've got we'll call it second instalment or part 2 of more Empress 28mm Vietnam range figures, Empress miniatures. Had a look at them obviously already. I've had these a few days now. Absolutely beautiful figures, just like the ones before. I've not been able to pick a particularly bad pose, leg missing, head missing, whatever. Blow holes in the sculpting. Put the figures down, Gav. They're making a crinkly noise. Not a bad figure amongst them. However, there was one problem: the ordering process again. I ordered the 3 packs and I'll just look at it again. Yeah, the NAM 7 pack, which is M16s in different poses of firing, I believe. And I got the MVA pack again. So these guys here, was it BDM 7.62 machine gun? I can't remember it exactly now, but I got the same pack again. Now the first time, it's a stuff up, second time just stuff up, but the first time just stuff up, I laughed it off because at the end of the day, I was going to paint some MVA just to get a feel for the figures anyway. As I say, I won't be keeping these. I'll end up selling them off, not because they're not nice figures. It's just that I don't game them. I get the pleasure of painting them. Hopefully, I'll get the pleasure of painting them again, because the Vietnam War is one of the conflicts in history that I'm very interested in. Particularly the Battle of Hue, funny enough, which is obviously I was particularly interested in these United States Marine Corps figures, and the general fight along the DMZ. I got sent the same pack, and I thought, I can't, yes, it's a stuff up. I thought maybe, obviously, I'm not very good with computers. Made sure that, just like before, that I had put the right code in and they'd acknowledged the right code. All that was fine. So I thought, well, maybe, obviously, when they put them into the system, they've got whenever you put an MA7, you get an AM7, you get NVA7. Whatever the reason, I got the same pack. Sent them an email straight off, within a few minutes of me opening them up. Not stinking email. I don't believe until you realise what a company, what their track record is, what they're going to do, how they're going to deal with you. Just do it politely, because stuff ups happen. And literally within 20 minutes, I got an email back from Paul, I believe, at Empress Miniatures. I won't go into the whole email. It was nothing particularly, I would think, that would need private, but it was a private email, so being fair to him. But hands straight up in the air, proverbially, is that a word? Saying, we've made the stuff up, very sorry, it happens, and he's absolutely right. There ain't one of us out there that don't screw up from time to time. He says, we've probably put lots of the same packets, both packets in the same picking bin, and you've been unlucky enough to get it twice. Not a problem, that's all you want to know. He said, we'll have you a pack straight out. I went back to him and said, thank you very much for dealing with it so quickly, so promptly, and not a problem. They didn't even charge me. They didn't ask me to send the other pack back, because I would have bumped my gums over that. I don't mind sending it back, but you pay the postage. Never even asked for it, so I've ended up with a pack of 3 figures, more or less. Well, yeah, pack of 3 figures. They sent the other ones out at their own expense. They sent them. He sent me another email back, just saying, they pride themselves not only on the product but how they deal with the customers. And sometimes you can say, oh, that's a boast or a flim-flam, but having dealt with the guys there, and by the way, I'll say I've got no connection with Empress whatsoever. This is the first time I've had any connection, is in this small flurry of emails, just to sort out this problem. I've always said, it's not always how the company might have the best product in the world, and you might buy that product off them several times in a year, a couple of years, not a problem. Then the third year, complete stuff up. if they stick two fingers up to you, or their fingers in their ears, and they can't be bothered, and that's happened to so many of us over the years with everything in life, not just our hobbies, you get really angry. And I do vote with my feet, won't use them. If I can absolutely avoid it, I'll just not use them again. This wasn't the case with these guys. They just dealt with it efficiently. Boom, there you go, it's out there. And I think it was the day or 2 days later I got the pack. You can't ask for more than that. I'm happy with that, happy how they dealt with it. I wanted you guys to know that, because as I said to these guys, it's, you can have the best product in the world, but people need to know that when the muck hits the fan, that it gets dealt with. And on my own experience, they deal with it. So thanks, Empress, for sorting that out so fast and so efficiently. I appreciate that. Also, I don't think I'm divulging a state secret here, because I did ask Paul. I was asked by one of the guys, I can't remember who it was, where it was, will they be doing any air cav, things like that. They will be doing some air cav. It won't be for a while yet, because, and again, I agree with him on this one, he said they don't like, again, these are my words, use a scattergun approach to, we've all seen it with War Games figures. Companies want to do a bit of everything, so they try and cover all the bases to keep all you guys out there wanting that era of, oh, are they going to do this? Oh, they've got to, but they never fill out what's needed, and then people have to try and go around different figure manufacturers. Sometimes the figures obviously mix match with height and chunkiness and all that stuff. And he said, they prefer to fill out what they've got to what they've got in there. Obviously, they've got a game plan for all this. I personally would like to see, if they ever find this video, I would personally like to see some naval corpsmen. I don't think you can have a Vietnam without medics and naval corpsmen, because with the Marines, the Navy service the Marines with their medics. So naval corpsmen I'd like to see in a couple of poses, something like that. But yeah, there's going to be more Marine poses, I presume, coming out. I presume more NVA. There'll be Arvin as well. They want to do art. I think Arvin are coming out whenever they are out, but Arvin will be one of the main pushes as well, because let's face it, their home is their war type of thing. So there we go. I've got all my packs. So I've got 3 packs. I've got a Command pack, I've got an M16 pack, and an M60 pack. So join me at the bench and we'll have a look. The elusive NAM7 pack. Right, these are what I've been trying to get hold of. We'll start with our Marine lying prone, or firing prone I should say, obviously you can see he's lying. M16. Again, there'll be a bit of shine on with the lights and that. All have got the CBA on, like what I call CBA, combat body armour, bulletproof vest to you guys that might not be aware. Although not always bulletproof. But yeah, nice figure again. I like that pose. It was one of those that attracted me to this particular pack. I thought that was nicely balanced, that. So that's our prone firing pros. I thought this one was nice as well. You've got that sink your head and neck down farther into your shoulders as you can get, as the so you don't get shot. Got a M16 magazine in his helmet band there. I always think the M16s seem quite well proportioned to me. I've noticed with like when I did those Australian ones a couple of years ago, it seems a couple of years ago, the M16s, not the M16s, the barrels on the SLRs were really short and things, and I think these are coming up well. respirator again. As I say, that, you know, that's why I decided to go with the Hui urban-y type of feel to the bases that I did on the previous video. And thank you very much, guys, for the comments and the likes on that. That was much appreciated. You'd have to cut, you know, if you're going to use these, you know, maybe in a more rural setting, you'd probably have to cut the respirators off. As far as I'm aware, although I've seen, as I said before, I've seen different infantry units, probably marine units off the top of my head, you know, using CS gas to smoke out or attempt to smoke out tunnels and things. You know, I just think for me, I'm giving my bases a Hui feel, especially knowing that they've got air cav coming in, you know, the next couple of years or whatever. Or yeah, I can't remember now. But whenever the air cav are coming, you know, you'll probably have a whole different scenario of equipment there. So yeah, we've got this guy tentatively walking along, you know, waiting for rounds to splatter around him on a wall or something. He's got his entrenching tool there. Again, you're going to have your mould lines, and you can't help it. Obviously, that's what you get with these type of castings. So that's our another second guy. We've got kneeling pose. It's almost like every pose you get on a firing range when you go doing your going through your different ways to fire a rifle. He's all kitted up there, got a pack with his entrenching tool on, bandolier, bayonet. Nothing on the helmet with that one, although he's got a nice rip in his helmet there. That's a nice touch. See, that's what I mean, it's the little things, and that's what I try and replicate with my painting. Try and think out the box a bit when you do your figures. I'll just interpose these with these here. So I've got this MVA here all in green. He's a work in progress, so it'll be toned down a bit yet. But that's our MVA guy. This guy, I've given him, I believe that the more tan colour, I don't know what colour you call it really, but that was the pre-67 uniform, I believe. I might be wrong, I just saw it somewhere online. It's got grenades there. But what I'm trying to say is I mix it up a bit, and then I put a full pre-67. I was going to do him as Viet Cong, but I thought this is all going to be, I'm just going to do all these as MVA, so put him in, again, these are all going to be faded out and mucked about with yet. It's a bit of a work in progress with that. Again, this guy, I've given him the green pith helmet, and again, full tan, but I've tried to go for a darker base colour on one and a lighter on the other. It's just when it just raises your figures up, if that makes sense, you know. And that's what the sculpts have done. You know, this guy here with his rip in his helmet cover, you know, just something simple like that. It just all adds. He's got his t-shirt on as well. It just all adds to that bit of difference, you know, between the figures. This guy here again, you know, you could call that whatever you wanted to in his band, you know, whether you kind of call it a pack of smokes or something, I don't know. Again, nice pose. Respirator, usual field dressing, I believe that is. Couple of, is it a field dressing? I've got all this written down. Should remember things. Grenade, possibly another grenade there. It's all light. It's all bouncing off the lights. Yeah, very nice. Things like this bit of flash here. It's about all you get on them really, apart from the mould lines. Just check the mould line. You see that one there running across the top of his helmet. Be gentle there. Obviously, you don't want to start rubbing off all the nice detail, because that's a centre seam actually in the helmet cover itself. But obviously, the one crossing is part of the mould line that will run down. So just be gentle with those. I mean, I use my diamond files on these guys, but just really gently, don't put pressure down on them, or try and clean it gently with a scalpel, so you don't take a lot of the detail off. But that's about as much as you really get with those type of figures. Let's have a look at the number 2 pack. These are the M60s, I believe. I believe so. Sorry about the crispy bags, I should have opened these first. Right, let's have a look. Right. Running, I should say, or walking fast with his M60. A few ready-use belts on the go. Might need to straighten it. It's quite a tough metal, so it can stand a bit of straightening. They're not normally knocked about too bad though. Got a respirator, and I wonder if that says spares for the gun. I'm not sure. We've got 2 here now. They'd be magazines, wouldn't they? They'd be ready use. Yeah, sorry, they'd be ready use for the belts for the M60, I believe. Again, we got probably we could call that oil for the. You can paint them up as bug repellent and oil for the machine gun. But again, nice. So that's one M60. Here's the second M60. If you're wondering where it's like the MVA. You get you pose that in whichever way you want. I did find with the MVA, a couple of them were a bit longer than I could get them on sometimes, so I had to cut these down very slightly, but not too bad. You can either have it hanging down as if he's just literally picked it up, and he's obviously still being cautious, but he's obviously got some ready use there, ready to have a go. We've got whatever we've got there. Is it first field dressing or something? As I say, with the lights all bouncing off, it's a bit hard. I wasn't sure what these were contained in these bags. I painted the ones on the. I think I had 1 or 2 on the other figures I painted, and I painted them, I believe, green in the end. But I wasn't sure what these were because I couldn't see them on the photographs. They're obviously the sculptors seen them, but I didn't know exactly what they were carrying. Whether they were carrying rations, more ammunition, grenades. I've no idea. Wouldn't have thought it'd be a bag of grenades. I want to secure them a bit better than that. I don't know. So if anybody does know what that bag was for, again, t-shirt, another nice touch. So they're all different. We got t-shirts, rolled up sleeves, non-rolled up sleeves. You name it. We got waterproofs. Doesn't seem as many waterproofs in these poses. We got Thompson. Obviously number 2. Oh, that's nice. He's got a waterproof jacket on. I'd probably do the trousers. Normally they seem to fold the trousers up with the waterproofs rather than put them into the tie-off. So I'd probably paint those as normal olive green, olive trousers or whatever, and put that as the waterproof. Again, to make a different colour. And then if you put maybe the lighter coloured, the faded look to the CBA. Yeah, that'd be nice figure that. Again, it's weird. Some figures just especially if you've got an interest in the period, you just want to paint them. It's helmet straps, chin strap up over the top there. Really nice. And we've got another M60 gunner. I like that one as well. Again, belt round there. He's giving it max there by the look of it. Get some. Again, whether that's waterproofs, whatever over the top.
I'd say that again, they don't have to be waterproof trousers, these, because sometimes they tie them up with the internal. I mean, we used to wear what we used to call bungees, just like a elasticator with a couple of hooks. You used to tuck your trousers into them, but they also normally come with an internal little like lace that you can tie them up. But so you don't have to say that they're waterproof just because they're rolled up. It's just that a lot of pictures you see, they often are waterproofs. So you make your own mind up with those. But again, all the little different, they really have hit all the differences that each grunt would be having. You know, each it's all personal taste. You know, with the fellas, with the individual, what they want to wear at the time. You know, what they've got access to, and I think Empress and the sculptor, if it is still Paul Hicks, it looks like his work. They should be commended for that, because that really is top notch. Now this is a pack I was really looking forward to. It's a command pack. I know, officers, you know, what could we do without them? But we've got our comms here. They do name this lieutenant, and for the life, again, I've not written this down, but on the website it says who it is. It is an actual lieutenant in the battle for Hue, with his glasses on. I just think that's a cracking pose. When I saw these, I thought, I've got to have these. Let's just see if we can bring, I'm not sure which is which here, so let's give me a second. Yeah, I believe this might be his radio. He's got his fag in his mouth. He's taken the butt off the Thompson there, which that's documented. I've seen that a few times in pictures. But that is a really, really great pose. You do get, I'll show you in a second, a couple of bits of white metal for the radio antenna. Like they actually say this, you'll probably knock them off and bust them. And there's also a piece of wire coil, you know, to go from the receiver to the handset, to the radio itself. I'm just wondering if it might be a bit oversized, but I've got some guitar string that might do the job on that one better. But, you know, your choice. But that is a really, really decent, well thought out. Yeah, it's probably taken from a photograph. It's from the real guys at the time. But that really is just such a great pose. As I say, I'm more for the more, well, they're not casual in the sense of obviously they're receiving orders or giving orders, whatever, but that is just such a fantastic pose. So we've dealt with those two. We've got another radio up here, or maybe you could use him as a forward air controller, or forward mortar guy. Looks like he's got his grease gun there. They often used to do that. They used to seem to use the radio up to carry all the smoke, because tended to be, let's face it, most of the time it would be your command elements that would be lobbing the smoke if they were calling in a whether it's an airstrike or just, you know, putting for the wind direction and tell you where you are for a helicopter to extract you. Again, brilliant. I know it's a bit hard to see without. I mean, he doesn't seem to have any t-shirt on at all. He just seems to be just got his CBA on. But we'll see how these all come up with some let's face it, green on them. And then we've got our last figure. He's got his handset ready, tied up there ready. M16. That almost looks like spare barrels for for the gun, but I would take it. It's would probably be radio antenna aerial to make it go higher, I presume. I don't know. Again, I should do my research before I actually shout my mouth off. Again, I'm not 100%. I have tried looking for this particular, looks like a small bag. I'm not sure what's in that. Bit of flash down the bottom there. See a bit of a mould line shining up on his leg there, but again, that's standard on any figure. Yeah, really, really impressed with those. In fact, I'll just finish off. Let's just have him there so you can see him. Yeah, I can't fault this range. I did have some of their Zulu British figures years ago when they first brought them out, and I just, as I usually did then, just painted half a dozen up, and they were very nice. But these, whether it's because it's a subject that I like a lot, I just think these are fantastic figures. You could collect them just for a collection. Put them on a in a cabinet just to have on. I'm going to probably make a backdrop maybe about the same size as this, or half as thick anyway, and a small backdrop. So I'm going to try and make some type of backdrop for these to display them on. But as I say, whatever happens, I'll probably end up selling these off. I haven't got the space to show them. I'll just get the enjoyment of painting them. These are the radio antenna. See, they're well done. But they're right. They actually say they're fragile and perhaps use some plastic bristle off a brush, so they wouldn't get knocked off in gaming. Obviously, if you were going to do them as a just as for a collection, just to have on a in a cabinet or something, it wouldn't make there wouldn't be a problem probably. And this is our coiled wire from the phone. If you don't want to use that, obviously, because you can bend that anyway and make it look a bit more, but it still looks a bit of a rod really. Maybe you could get away with either getting some very thin wire, copper wire, and anneal it first, so heat it up first. I will probably show you how to do that. I've got some very, very thin wire that's used for, I believe, used for fishing, tying flies and that. I'll anneal that and put it round something so it's got a coil to it. See if that works. And I've also got some guitar string as well, which might do the job. Right, guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. Thanks for as usual. I don't do anything quickly. I sometimes say sorry, but I don't really give that much apologies really for it. It's my videos. I believe if something's worth jabbering away at, you've got to tell it. You've got to tell or show what you want to say. Brilliant figures, highly recommended. As I say, I've had a stuff up with the, and I'd say this, I've got to say it, I actually said to Empress I'd be saying it, and that's not as a threat or anything. It's what I'm saying is you got to say it is. I think whoever watches my videos hopefully will know. I just see it. I'll try and tell it how I see it, but also give play devil's advocate, as well. In this case, there was a stuff up, and it was dealt with professionally straight away. I say I'm not being paid to say that. I don't, say that I've only had some interaction with these guys because of the stuff up. I'm just saying they treated me fairly. They did it properly, as you'd expect them to do, and like they say, they pride themselves in sorting that type of stuff out. So, big thumbs up to Empress for that. Big thumbs up to how they've gone into the details of the sculpting. How with these sculpts, I mean, how it could be really easy to do something half-hearted with these just to get the money out of them, and they haven't. They've really gone into the research with these. I believe it is Paul Hicks that sculpts these. I might be wrong. If I am, I apologise. But if it's him as the sculptor, or whoever the sculptor is, they've done an absolute first-class job at this. I can't fault them for it. It's absolutely first-class work, and as I say, they really want you to. That really makes you want to paint the figures, and doing the same type of justice that the sculptor and the company has done them. Because again, these are little metal figures, but they represent, like these, they represent real people. Now, people sometimes say, oh, you know, people gaming things in war and things. Well, I don't know any historical gamers out there that don't realise that they're gaming real people in a way, you know. When it's all said and done, you know, there isn't a gamer out there that doesn't know that these represent real people who went through a massive traumatic experience. And I'm not just talking about Vietnam. It could be whoever, but it's just that Vietnam is still in our memory. The people are still with us, thank goodness. And obviously 60-odd thousand what aren't. And I think the sculptor's done an excellent job in bringing these people, these little sculpts to life, making you want to care about them. I hope to do the same thing with my painting. I've got utmost admiration for those that served in Vietnam, and I had done ever since I was a youngster. I mean, I'm in my 50s now, and yes, I'm an ex-infantry soldier myself, but there were people that treated them very fairly when they came back, but there were a heck of a lot of people who didn't. And that's always upset me, because if you can't support your own service personnel, who are your own friends, neighbours, sons, daughters, obviously now, but you know, well, even then, yeah. So I'm rambling a bit, but it's personal to me in the sense of I want to do these figures justice, and you know, just show, put my respect for the people that were in Vietnam on sea, air and land, you know, to show my respect as best I can in painting my figures. So guys, thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look. Hope all is well with you. I hope you're getting your projects painted and kits built. Next video coming up will probably be an update on the T-34 1:35 scale tank I'm doing. I keep promising you the Chevy, and the Chevy will hopefully make an appearance this week. It's actually, you might have caught a tiny glimpse in the background when I did my face to camera thing, but that will hopefully get a video this week. And I think that's about it. Oh, and I've got some Napoleonics to show you as well that I'm painting for commission. So look after yourselves, keep ducking and diving away from that virus, keep looking out for each other, and we'll speak very, very soon on another video.